everybody, the Digital Dungeon Master here, and this is the Digital Dungeon Master update number 13 for June 12th all the way to the 25th. I've been doing these updates every 2 weeks, and I think it's actually working out pretty well. So it was a very, and I stress very productive past couple of weeks for getting everything done. I can actually see the light at the end of the tunnel. You know, when I first transitioned everything over from tabletopping to the Digital Dungeon Master and the new site and then building the new studio, I was so far behind. I literally had 3 pages like this, front and back, of stuff that needed to be done and transitioned and changed. And there were like 80 items on there on 3 pages. And I've actually got 2 items left to do that I'll be finishing them up tomorrow, thankfully. And then I can start doing the stuff that I want to do, which is creating content for you guys to consume. You know, I'm going to redo all of the 5e tutorials. I'm going to be redoing all my Savage World stuff. And I really think that you're going to like the new presentation of that stuff. The first one I put out today, which I'll talk about in just a couple of minutes. Now, I put a new straw poll out there yesterday, and I want you guys to vote on this. And you can vote on which Digital Dungeon Master campaign is your favorite of all time. Maybe you have 2 or 3 campaigns that you really like that I've ran in the past. And on this straw poll, which the link will be down below, you're going to be able to vote on multiple campaigns. And vote. Guys, vote. Seriously. I'm going to let this straw poll stay up until the end of July. And then at the end of July, I'm going to announce the winner. So I'm really looking forward to seeing what you guys think is the best campaign of all time. I really can't wait. So on the 9th, we had the surveys due for all of the Wizards of the Coast stuff that's in closed testing. And I really couldn't talk about it. I mean, you can't talk about it at all. You know, we have to sign NDAs and stuff because it's a closed private playtest. And of course, you know, last weekend they announced during the Stream of Annihilation, they announced Xanathar's Guide to Everything, which was part of the playtest packets. And then they also announced the Tomb of Annihilation, which was awesome and was one of the playtest packets. And I wanted to tell you guys so much of what was being playtested, but we just can't. You know, there's NDAs involved, man. I don't want to get in any kind of trouble. So it was a fun time playtesting that stuff though, and reading about it. So the next thing I want to do is I want to send a very special shout out to Chris Lindsay over at Wizards of the Coast. This is the box of holding that he sent me last week. And it is literally jam-packed full to the brim of Dungeons and Dragons swag. I mean, it is literally a large box, and it's a very heavy box, and it has a ton of stuff. Probably 40 sets of dice, a ton of different stickers. There are some of the new 5e character portfolio folders. There are some Volo's Guide to Monsters, some graph paper books. There's a really special Dungeons and Dragons miniature set from probably about 10 years ago. The Beholder's box set. I have that. I've showed it off several times. Well, Chris even sent one of those, and that's super expensive on eBay. So somebody's going to be very happy, and I'm going to start giving this stuff away pretty soon. So you're going to need to follow me on Twitter and Facebook. You're going to be there for the live Twitch streams. You'll have to check out the podcast website and follow that. And hey, you may have a chance to win some D&D swag, right? Who doesn't like to win swag? So again, Chris, thanks, man. I totally appreciate it, man. You guys are awesome. So if you guys haven't noticed, I have a new gold system back up and running. I know I said that I would never do that again, but the new platform Stream Elements has made that possible. You know, I'm going to go from running 7 bots at once to not even needing to run a bot anymore and just do it all through the browser. It's amazing. And I even have a storefront now to where you can check out the Digital Dungeon Master store for all the in-game perks. You can buy Steam games from me. You can do all kinds of stuff with a virtual currency. It's called gold. It used to be called Experience, EXP, but now it's gold. Take a look on the Twitch channel. There's a link there with the link to the store. It's awesome. The bot's always in the channel. So when you go into the Twitch channel, just do !command, and it will literally tell you all the commands. It's awesome. You can play games, you can gamble, you can duel other people in the channel. You can do so much stuff with this. It is amazing, and I absolutely love it. There's going to be a lot of changes coming too, and a lot of additions. There's going to be a lot more perks that you're going to be able to buy in and out of game. You can also play songs on the jukebox. I mean, it's crazy. The amount of things and features that this thing done is awesome. And you can get this gold several different ways. You get, if you're a follower of the channel, you get 5 gold every 10 minutes. If you're a subscriber, you get 15 gold every 10 minutes. If you host the channel, you get a little bonus. If you subscribe or re-up for another month, you get 500. There's all kinds of ways. If you cheer with my jazz hands here, if you cheer, you get, I think it's 10 gold for every 100 bits, and then you get 10 gold for every $1 that you donate to help support the cause. And then my patrons, they also get a monthly stipend as well. So there's many ways to get gold, and take advantage of it. I am really super impressed, like I've said a couple of times. I'm also going to be having a new overlay. It's going to be an interactive overlay. It's going to have the character sheets. You're going to be able to tell, seeing that I'm not running webcams, you guys are going to be able to see the character sheet and the person who's talking. Their name will light up bright green. So you'll be able to see who's talking now, which is really nice. And this is made by Zovia. This is being made by Zovia. So, guys, she's a brilliant artist. She's got a patron page up. So if you're a dungeon master and you need maps, tokens, and monsters and all that other stuff, check out her patron page. That link is also going to be down in the comments section below. Man, I just love these jazz hands. Jazz hands! Only if Wormfood saw this, he would be so proud of me right now. So the new Digital Dungeon Master podcast number 5 dropped today. And basically it's the first time I haven't had a guest on. I could have had a guest, but I'm kind of going to be doing for the next maybe 3 or 4 podcasts D&D, 5e, and Savage World related stuff. So this podcast had just dropped today early for the patrons. That's one of the perks of being a patron. It's all about, if you're a streamer, how to take advantage of stream elements to keep your viewers engaged and to keep them in your channel. And plus, running a good game and all that other stuff, that has to be factored in as well. They're just not going to stay in your channel for, a gold system, which possibly they could, just to, lurk in the background and keep gaining gold or experience or whatever they call it. So check it out, guys. Patrons got access today earlier, and then everybody else will be able to download that on Thursday, and it'll be auto-released, I think, at 5 o'clock in the morning. So another thing about this particular podcast, go to the Podbean website. It's off my channel. You can get there. There's all kinds of ways you can get there. It's all over the place. Download the podcast and download all the other podcasts and listen to them, guys, because there's an Easter egg in this podcast for you. And if you've already listened to it, you already know what the Easter egg is. All right, so listen to it. Download this podcast and follow it. Seriously. And I also put these on YouTube, though, if you want to watch the video of it. Now, this week, over the next 2 or 3 or 4 days, I'm going to be doing the Savage World Zombie Apocalypse Seasons 1 and 2. Seasons 1 and Season 2. Those are going to be put on the podcast site also, because you guys voted that as your second most favorite game that you would want to hear in MP3 format. So I know I'm probably distracting all you guys with my furry paws, but man, I really like these. And if it wasn't Florida, it wouldn't be so damn hot. But man, yeah, but I do like this. I might DM in this one night. Who knows? Now, the next Digital Dungeon Master podcast, which is going to be number 6, will be out in 2 weeks from today. And it's going to be all about inspiration in D&D 5e. And I'm also going to have a special guest Dungeon Master, one of the other Twitch Dungeon Masters, or I might even have 2. And we're going to discuss what we do with inspiration and how you can incorporate it into your game as a Dungeon Master. So there's a lot of good things coming from for the podcast in the future. So definitely get over there, follow the Podbean site, download those podcasts, guys. Seriously. Finally, I've got the Out of the Abyss Campaign Diary series caught up. I was like 6 sessions behind because of computer problems, the transition to the new studio. This Thursday, the last one comes out. And then every other Thursday, from this Thursday, the new Out of the Abyss Campaign Diary will be out every 2 weeks. And that game has taken a massive transition. If you haven't seen it, if you haven't watched them, it is an excellent series. These guys are awesome players. This is a game that is not streamed online. They don't want it to be streamed online. And, this is to keep their anonymity. And those guys, they're great players, and I'm really enjoying the Out of the Abyss campaign. And I'm enjoying putting it into a campaign diary, which is a lot of work, but I actually enjoy doing it. You get to see screenshots as I'm talking in it. You don't get to see the actual gameplay. You don't hear the gameplay. It's just me telling you the story with images and stuff like that. It's a really nice format. I like it. And a lot of people actually watch it. So I remember a couple of months ago, I talked about a special Savage Worlds A-Team one-shot. Well, good news is this is going to happen in either July or August. And I'm going to have the guys that I have man crushes on, all 4 of these guys from the Wild Die podcast. So Eric, Gary, Nick, and Harrison, they're going to be playing Hannibal, Face, Murdoch, and B.A. Baracus. And we're going to do a one-shot. It's probably going to be about 3 or 4 hours, and we're going to cover all the mechanics in Savage Worlds. We're going to do a role-play scene. We're going to do a chase. We're going to do a dramatic scene. We're going to do a combat, and we're going to do some exploration. And it's going to be fun, and it's going to be great. You guys are going to love it. I'm not sure if it's going to be streamed live yet. I don't know if we're going to have to pre-record it, because Harrison and Nick are over in England, so there's a big time difference. We may have to stream it early or do it super early at like 5 o'clock in the morning like we did the podcast. So I'm not too sure. But when I get the times and the dates, we're in the middle of talking about all this now, setting it up. I'll let you guys know. You guys will be the first ones to know. All right. So I had a couple of new videos come out this week. If you guys noticed, I put out a new DM Tricks of the Trade video where a lot of people ask me, hey, how do I get that map? How do I get the map without the locations on it and stuff, Dave? That map, there's no player version. So I went ahead and I'm doing a series of these videos, and they're accelerated for speed, so you don't have to watch everything in real time. I speed them up like 5 times or 10 times as fast as normal time. And you get to see me just covering up the map and doing the tricks that I use. Man, this is hot. To hide locations and stuff. It's not a 100% perfect way of doing it. There's many ways of doing it. But I am showing you just one way to do it. And I'm doing it with a free program, paint.net. I've been using Photoshop a lot because now I have the Adobe Suite. And I'm paying big money for this Adobe Suite. So I'm using it. But for this video, most people don't have access to Adobe Photoshop. So I'm doing it with paint.net. And you can just watch me in fast time, accelerated time, how I'm creating these maps. And I'm also going to be doing modules as well that I'm creating for Fantasy Grounds. So you'll be able to watch me do the Ghost of Dragonspear Castle, how I put in all of the data, create all of the encounters, all of the loot parcels, put everything on the maps, put all the locations on the map, and then bam, it'll be done. It'll be accelerated 5 or 10 times the speed too. And you can always slow it down. I think YouTube has a tool that you can slow this stuff down. And I'll put in the comment section how fast it is, so you can just dummy it down. I also had a new Dungeons & Dragons 5th edition. Now, I mentioned this at the beginning of the update. I had a new D&D 5e video for beginners today called The Attack of Opportunity. And there was a lot of thought and a lot of planning that was put into this. And I think the video turned out awesome. It was probably one of the best tutorials or walkthroughs that I've ever done. And I use Fantasy Grounds, of course. And I go into detail and put everything into layman's terms so you know everything about the Attack of Opportunity. Everything. And they're not very long. They're only about 15 minutes. And there's a lot of great examples with miniatures and stuff like that. So you get to see it and hear it. So you visually hear it, and then you also see it with your eyes. So it's nice. I think it's good, and I'm going to be redoing all of my 5e stuff in this new format. And plus it's in 1080p. So the last thing that I want to talk about before we talk about the last thing that you guys know what's coming pretty soon. Say goodbye to this green screen behind me, because I've got a new green screen that is like a projector that you just pull down. And I'm so looking forward to getting that hung later tonight when my son gets off. We're going to hang that up, and then I'm getting rid of the last 2 stands that I've got shit on. Now, when I made the transition from the old studio to the new studio, it was a mess. I had 11 stands with webcams, with lighting, with umbrellas, with green screens, with monitors. It was pardon my language, it was a fucking train wreck in here. I'd get up in the middle of the night to go to the bathroom or something. I'd end up tripping most of the time because I'm hitting one of the damn stands. But now everything's on the walls, everything's mounted perfectly, and say goodbye to the last 2 stands that I have. God, I can't wait. No more tripping in the middle of the night. It is awesome. So the last thing we're going to talk about, guys, you know what's coming. You know it. Here it is. That's right. It is your Patreon update. So the Patreon update is going to be a little lengthy this week. First off, we've got 48 patrons. We're 2 away from the 50 mark. And like I said a couple of weeks ago, once we get to the 50 mark, I'm going to do some Devon Knight token giveaways. Maybe I might even do a physical book or something. I got a whole stack of stuff that I want to give away, and I got a whole box of D&D stuff too. But I'm not giving the D&D stuff away to the patrons. I'm giving that away to everybody publicly in the Twitch channel. So don't think I'm doing D&D stuff. Even it's going to be D&D stuff, but it's not going to be the D&D stuff that I got from Chris. That stuff's all going through Twitter and all the public forums. So let's get some more patrons, guys. Help support the cause. I'm doing this full time. I've really ramped it up for you guys. And I'll be honest, I think I'm fucking kicking ass and taking names. Even viewership in the Twitch channel is up by about 700%. I mean, things are going really good, guys. 2.5 million views on YouTube just hit. Thank you, guys. Almost 15,000 subscribers. Wow, cannot believe it. How things have grown in the last year. I mean, it's just been unbelievable. Also, I want to tell my patrons, now that we've got the new gold system going again, if you go into the Twitch channel, which I hope you do, you need to give me your Twitch name. And you can do that either in the weekly treasure chests that I put out, or you can send me a message through Patreon. You can send me a message through Twitch. You can send me a message on my website, digitaldungeonmaster.com. Give me your Twitch name, because I cannot give you your monthly stipend if I don't know who you are on Twitch. So get your gold stipend. It's part of the perks for your reward. Now I've had all of the games fill up. My Thursday Yawning Portal game is now full. My Saturday Ghost of Dragonspear Castle game is full. My Friday DDAL 05 Storm King Thunder Adventures League game is full. The DDEX1 Tyranny of Dragons game is full now. That's awesome, guys. I totally appreciate you guys. You guys have no clue. It's nice to see everything sold out. Now, I've got another game up there that I just posted. It's called Swashbuckler Sunday. And it's going to be a Savage Worlds game. It's going to be temporary for 3 months. Now, after that 3 months, I'll get with all of the patrons and possibly move that to a full-time game on Saturday to rotate on the opposite Saturdays of the Ghost of Dragonspear Castle. So if you want to get into a game, a consistent game, and I will DM my ass off for you guys, take a look at the Swashbuckler Sunday. And I'd prefer it be Savage Worlds because I've already got 5 D&D 5e games going. And I'd like to have one Savage Worlds game. And we'll play any Savage Worlds setting. We'll play the new Savage Rifts. We'll play Solomon Kane. We'll play Hellfrost. We'll do anything you want. We'll do the Daring Tales. We'll do anything you want. Pulp Adventures. I don't care. So get signed up for that. And then once that gets signed up, it'll last for 3 months. It'll last till the end of September, because in October, the Fantasy Grounds crew is coming back. And I think we might be doing the Tomb of Annihilation, because the Tomb of Annihilation is coming out towards the end of September. And I think that would be a great time to start the Tomb of Annihilation. And actually get hardcore on those guys, because those guys are good gamers too. And maybe we'll ramp up all the death saves and stuff to 15s like they did with the meat grinder, as Chris called it. Chris Perkins, by the way. So also, this morning I put out a new treasure chest. And I know that I told you guys I was going to every other week on the treasure chest, but you notice I've been doing them pretty much every week. Because I'm organized, I have time to do this, so I figured I'd kind of give you guys little updates between the normal treasure chest. And if you're a patron and if you missed the treasure chest that I called it Jennifer last week, you guys have got to read that treasure chest, because that's something that happened in my real life that actually happened. And I mean, it was dangerous at the time, but you know, now that I look back at it, I laugh my ass off. I'm like, how could I ever have something like this happen to me? And it was so funny. So everybody at the $1 up level, you guys get to read the treasure chest. So check it out. It's funny as shit. I think that's about it. Oh, the download section. Now that we're almost at the next reward, you'll notice that there's a new download section on the left-hand side of the main page. That is where all of the download stuff is going to be for the patrons. And all of my patrons at certain tiers are going to get with me. And we're going to basically get together and we're going to create stuff. Magic items. We're going to create treasure. We're going to create NPCs. We're going to create different mechanics for like mass battles, even though there's some already, but we're going to enhance those. I'm going to do all kinds of new archetypes for the classes, and there's going to be some free downloads, and then as a reward, you'll get a one-page PDF at, I believe, the $10 and up pledge. And plus, you get access to the Discord server, the treasure chest, early access to the podcast, the gold stipend, all kinds of stuff. So get signed up on Patreon, guys. It helps support what I do. And I'm really trying my hardest before I ride off into the sunset to make this happen. I want to do this full time for you guys for many years to come. And I can't do that without the community support. I got to keep the lights on. I have to pay for all this stuff that I use to entertain you guys. And believe me, it's really costly. There's a lot of software and websites you got to pay for and everything else, bandwidth, and it's very costly every year. So that's it for the Patreon download, guys. Well, for the Patreon update. And actually, that's about it for me anyway, because it's now at the 25-minute mark, and I'm hot as hell wearing this little furry costume. So if you guys go ahead and check out the podcast, don't forget, there's an Easter egg in it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't subscribed yet. Follow me on Twitter, Facebook, on Instagram. Check out the Digital Dungeon Master website. I got 1,200 character sheets that you can download, all in PDF format. I mean, it's awesome. Download them all. Anyways, thank you guys so much. And until next time, happy gaming and keep it savage.